President Biden puts pressure on Putin and his enablers during his State of the Union speech.
When the history of this era is written, Putin's war in Ukraine will have left Russia weaker and the rest of the world stronger.
New actions to deal with the crisis in Europe.
To find and seize their yachts, their luxury apartments, their private jets.
And new ideas to deal with problems here at home. The president started his address updating the nation on the steps being taken against Russia.
But he's also battling serious issues here at home and spent the bulk of the speech talking about solutions. Our political specialist, Sean Boyd, is here. Sean, began with Ukraine, but a lot of domestic issues followed.
The war on Ukraine and the economy, of course, focal points tonight, and both present enormous challenges for the president, who is trying to balance sanctions against Russia with the economic fallout at home, including rising energy prices and a worsening supply chain. The president assured Americans he has a plan and assured Ukrainians the U.S. has their back.
Russia's Vladimir Putin sought to shake the very foundations of the free world, thinking he could make it bend to his menacing ways. But he badly miscalculated.
The president says Russia is isolated as never before, and it's about to get worse. He announced he's closing off American airspace to Russian flights as economic sanctions take a toll.
The Russian economy is reeling, and Putin alone is the one to blame.
The president acknowledged the sanctions are also impacting gas prices here, driving up inflation. To counter that, he says he's releasing 60 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. Lowering inflation, he says, is his top priority. And he says it starts with less reliance on the global supply chain.
Instead of relying on foreign supply chains, let's make it in America.
The president blamed rising inflation on the pandemic in part, saying closing plants led to supply chain issues that drove up prices. He stopped short of saying the pandemic was over.
We'll continue to combat the virus as we do other diseases. And because this virus mutates and spreads, we have to stay on guard.
He announced a new test-to-treat plan that allows pharmacies to provide antiviral drugs on the spot to anyone who tests positive. He says Americans need to return to work and kids to school.
So stop looking at COVID as a partisan dividing line. See it for what it is, a god-awful disease.
Unity, a big theme of the president's address. He thanked Republicans for help passing the infrastructure bill and parted ways with the liberal wing of his party on defunding police.
We should all agree the answer is not to defund the police, it's to fund the police.
The president laid out what he called a unity agenda that included tackling drug abuse, mental health parity, internet protections for kids, and support for veterans. And he and lawmakers showed unified support for Ukraine, giving the Ukrainian ambassador to the U.S. a standing ovation.
This is our moment to meet and overcome the challenges of our time, and we will, as one people, one America, the United States of America.
The president put a positive spin on the State of the Union, but if poll numbers are any indication, for most people, the bad outweighs the good right now. The president's message to skeptics tonight: I've got it under control. And we will find out in November, when the midterm elections are, if they bought it.
Sean, thanks so much.